do 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 do. Yo,
Yo,
how's it going?
good morning, everybody.
What's up, y'all?
What's up?
Look at that.
It's a beautiful day for a DKE Toys live thing.
Yeah,
It's
what you
a
said.
beautiful morning. All right, so for everyone tuning in, welcome to the, what is this, 2024 DKECon. Woohoo! Janky.
There it is.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
I set it down. I couldn't find it.
I have sort
Everybody's
of
slacking today.
a very rough schedule for everyone. Like there were some people I asked today, and I sort of scheduled them for later. I know Brett, General Porpoise, has to go pick up his kids at some point very soon. Everyone's got like Edwin is like at university today, so he's got a lunch break. Like we're just sort of get everyone here. So and Gabo Zeta's there. So I don't know, Brett, you ready? You want to jump in? Let me just tell everybody you're watching DKECon. Well, this is the live show. It's going to be a little bit different format from the rest of the shows that you see throughout the year.
And this,
Whoa,
what was that?
that was the
What was
ghost
that?
of Scott.
That was Scott going, Bazinga!
Bazinga!
Scott, where'd you go?
There he
There he
is.
is.
There he is.
Hey, handsome.
For some reason, this meeting is different. It shows up different on my phone.
Yeah, this is a seminar as opposed to I don't know. Does that make a difference? Anyway, that's not the point. It's 11:40 at noon today. Everything goes on sale. DKEtoys.com. If you go to DKECON.com, it's got the list of everything that we got going on, and it's got the link to this. Which, if you're watching this, you're already here, so never mind. It's got a link to the store, list of all the artists, all their contact information, Instagrams, etc. Let's just get started. Brett, you ready?
Sweet.
Figure.
I see a Brett and a plastic purpose. So, oh wait, this is General Porpoise, right?
General Porpoise.
General Porpoise, not to be confused with plastic purpose.
We got a plastic purpose and a porpoise.
Janky did that on purpose.
Hey, oh. Good one.
I'll be here all day.
We could just
yes, you
spin
will.
the
We'll
wheel.
all be here all day.
We could spin the wheel of resin artist names, and it could just be plastic porpoise.
That's true.
True.
General Purpose.
Who was it that came up with that thing, like the resin artist name generator?
That was Scott for one of our DK.
Yeah.
That was Scott.
Hey.
Hey, dude, what's going on?
Not much. How are you guys doing?
Pleasure to have you. We've actually worked with you several times, and I've never had a conversation with you.
Yeah, I know. I've been the background guy for Jimmy for a little bit.
For the people who don't know who you are, can you just introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Brett, aka General Porpoise. And yeah, I've been working with Jimmy Folklore for I don't know. Has it been like 2 years since we started that?
A long time.
Been a while.
Seems like it, yeah, I think
The
too.
Broids series. Jimmy came up with the idea to make this series based off of some old knockoffs, some old Star Wars knockoffs, and approached me a while ago about doing the casts for it, and we started it, and we've just been plugging along on this little project, and it works because we are sorry, I just had a sound go off. We are not too far from each other. He's down right outside of Philly, and I'm like an hour-ish north, so it works out that we're nearby and can kind of meet up and figure things out. And then he had a friend of his, Hannah, do the artwork for all of them, and so that ties it
It's
all
very
together
good.
nicely too.
Nice.
And so yeah, it's been
So is this
kind of a
this
fun
is
little project.
this is the fifth figure in the set, the sixth.
Out of the ones on the back, Protocol's the only one that hasn't happened yet.
Wow.
And
Wow. Yeah.
so-
Wow.
yeah,
You're-
some of them have been both Jimmy and myself working on, and I think Arco and Brolem he did all on his own.
Yep.
And yeah, so we're almost to 6.
Nice. Well, eventually
Wow.
you'll be all the way to 12, and then you'll be like Kenner. Oh, here's a little.
And
General
your life will be
Porpoise.
complete.
Yeah, there's a little General Porpoise logo on the
I love
back.
that logo.
It's very cool. So, what else is going on? What else do you do? How long have you been making figures?
I've been making toys for about not quite 4 years, maybe like 3.5 or so.
Nice.
I got into it with a friend of mine who has not participated at all in the community. He was just kind of doing stuff on his own. We had gone to art school together like 20 years ago, and we always talked about they never make the toys that we wanted. And
Right.
so if they made X, we'd buy it. And every time
They
we'd
made
see
a
new
dolphin
Hasbro
with jam
toys or-
shorts, I would buy it.
Yeah. And so like he made a couple they were Space 1999 figures of I want to say
Yeah.
Walter Matthau, but no, it's
Martin Landau.
Martin Landau. Yes.
Yeah.
Martin Landau and the other two main characters, he made those, and like a Leisure Suit Larry. And then
I thought they made those toys. I thought they made Space 1999.
they made large scale. They I don't know.
like
I'm
the-
pretty
like
sure
the
they
meat-
made 3 3/4 inch as well.
they made these like
Did not
slightly-
deserve a toy line, by the way.
Let alone multiple toy lines.
They've got these are the smallest ones I know of. They were
They released the ship.
yeah, there was the Eagle. They
Yeah.
yeah, we've got Baxter here who's joining me. But I don't know what scale this is. This is even smaller. But in any case, he made those, and then we were just talking about, like, I had done casting, metal casting as a art student, and is a lot of the same concepts and processes for the molding and the casting part, just smaller scale, different materials, cheaper cheaper to make,
Sure.
and to do at home rather than a dedicated facility. And so that's kind of where it started. And then another friend of mine talked me into putting it out there, and that was about 3.5 years ago.
And the rest is history.
Yeah. So
Can we just talk
And
about
might
the
I add, Brett
Oh, yeah.
is a really good caster. His
Oh.
stuff is really
Really
good.
Yeah.
thanks a lot, Scott. That I
I-
appreciate you saying that. That yeah, I've been slowing down lately. I've been taking a little more time on things, and just that it's just like, if it doesn't quite work the way I want it to, I'm just gonna make it take however long it needs to take to be the way I want it to be. And that's, I think, in the end, I think that ties into a whole thing of, like, you need to like what you're working on in order for other people to like it.
Yeah.
And that it shows if you cut corners, and that, like, a little lack of passion, if you have a little lack of passion in something and you're just doing it,
Yeah,
shows
but
in
what
the final product.
I'm speaking of the craftsmanship of your,
Oh,
of your stuff.
well, yeah, and
as
I'm
well.
and I'm
that shines through.
Yeah, he's not
That's-
questioning your integrity. He's
Oh, no, I'm
That'll come later in the show when
No,
we.
I just, for me, that's all kind of lumped together. Like, as much as I like the final product that I make,
Mhm.
the process is as much of my interest as making the thing. And so for me, the project is the work behind it. And and so
that's so funny.
it
It's so
sort
funny
of all
'cause
blends together for me.
I'm exactly the opposite. Like the process for me is just excruciating, and like having to do the work, and it's sort of the feeling after it's done, looking at the thing on the wall, say, hey, we did that. Hey, we had part of this. But like the actual act of doing it is like, oh, it's like,
I'm the same.
Yeah, I see, and that goes along with a tortured artist
sure
way of life that I am trying to turn my back on and actually enjoy myself while I'm doing the goddamn thing.
Everybody gets their dopamine hit in a different place, and like
and that's hard too.
Dove and I
Do
like
you enjoy
ideas and
yourself,
finishing
though?
things. What?
I said, does Scott really enjoy himself while he's doing it?
You know what? But look,
Based on our phone calls, I don't know. Just saying. You got passion. You're just mad at it.
yeah, you know, yeah, I know.
Rage
it's
is
called
the brand
Barbarian
name.
Rage
but
for
look,
a
It's
reason.
true. It's in the name. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's not a cute name, but I'm trying to change. I'm trying to actually
Be cute.
like the thing, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's going to change
Because
his
it
name
is-
to Barbarian Porpoise.
Barbarian Cuddles.
There's the two.
Barbarian inner peace.
Yes, see, that's what I need to go through. That the barbarian rage is a means of jumping through the fire and finding some sort of zen on the other side. But
Wow. You let me know when that
Missionary.
happens, right?
Yeah, seriously.
yeah,
So can we talk about the
It's called
elephant
death.
in the room here? Or maybe not the elephant, I like the toys in the room, because the collection behind you, dude, is like insane.
Awesome.
Yeah, there's quite a bit, and I've run I'm now like I need more space. But
Are
like
those-
yeah,
Are they primarily like mainstream toys, or those mostly resin casts?
this top row there, that's all not all vintage, but it's vintage and like modern mainstream stuff.
Nice.
And then everything else is artist made figures with a few other things interspersed. But
Do you generally like open all your packages?
yeah, with rare exception, like in front, like there's a little bit of wall space in front of my monitor here, and there's a couple carded figures up there that I can't bring myself to split them apart.
Nice.
But in general, I'm an opener.
So
And
do you buy $50 or $100 like resin figures and you just crack them open?
usually I'll figure out a way to, if I get something with the card,
Yeah.
I'll figure out a way to very carefully
Ooh.
separate them
Got
You're
it.
brave.
so that I can check out the piece. And if not, then it stays in the package. And but it always bums me out when like Super 7 makes an amazing card back with an equally great figure. I'm like,
They
like,
do
I
that to
don't
make
want
you
to
buy two. That's
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
I know
exactly
they're
what they're
smart.
doing.
They
They
want
cracked
you to
that
buy
code.
two, and it's like I can't
Yeah.
have two of everything.
Right.
Those
Or
new,
do such a thing.
the dinosaur attacks that they
Yeah.
just
Oh,
I
I saw
know.
that
Yeah,
just did
yesterday. That's
yesterday, and I was just like,
mind-blowing.
why did you have to make such great cards for this? That's
Yeah.
gonna make me feel bad ripping it open. But I can't.
Unbelievable. They just keep firing. I mean, my favorite figures are these Dungeons and Dragons that you can see here. But those,
yeah.
I saw the dinosaur attacks yesterday, and I was just emailing my dude. I please get me two of these, because they're just like, if they keep going with that line,
If
like,
they like, I'll be out of money if they go with that whole thing. That whole thing.
unbelievable.
It's like,
all right,
well, thanks for getting in touch, and
Hey,
glad I
man,
can
I
hop on and
really
chat for a bit.
appreciate
I know there's
all the hard work you do.
yeah.
Check out the figure. It goes on sale, everybody, in like 6 or 7 minutes.
Yeah, tick away. There's 15.
Yeah,
and
not all. Well, there's
I
14
think there's a
because I
couple
bought
of the
one.
older ones. So knock yourselves out.
Excellent. Cool. Thank you again, dude. Really
Yeah, thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Take it
Good
easy,
seeing
everybody.
seeing
Thanks,
you.
dude.
Good
Take
seeing
care.
you
See you later,
again.
Scott. See everybody.
See ya.
Are we out?
Just hung out with Brett at ZoloCon. We hung for a
Nice.
bit.
Cool.
I mean, we probably should have talked about this with him in the room, but what he's done with the entry point dinosaur on a figure and like elevated that to a whole new level is awesome. Like,
yeah, I feel like he came out and like automatically knew how to do great castings. And
I think I first saw his stuff at Earth to Kentucky when I went out there for my first art show, and so my introduction to his work was in person, and being able to see those casts is crazy good.
Yeah, he's great.
I gotta go grab the printout of Gabo's figure, but can you bring him in if he's ready?
Yep. Gabo, are you ready to come live? Just let me know in the chat if you are.
Yeah, I guess I'll be right back too.
Okay, don't turn off your camera.
Yeah, perfect time to go get a refill on this coffee. But
Oh, everybody's gonna leave. Then this is gonna be me in the chat. All right, Gabo is here and he's ready. As soon as Gabo, as soon as Dov and Ian come back, we'll bring you over. It's an A+
can't
group
see the
in here.
chat either.
Can't.
Oh, there it is. Yeah,
Ooh, we got Mo. We got a first timer. Love the stream. Thanks, Mo. Thanks for joining us.
All right, we got to do some sort of Rocky Horror Picture Show. DKECON initiation.
Right. Put him in lingerie and make him sing the DK theme song.
Yeah, we have to initiate everyone now. The DKE hazing.
Yeah. I think just listening to us talk for an hour is that.
I'll take it just like that. It's fine.
You have to listen to us for an hour, Clockwork Orange style.
Is he in?
He is. Yeah, we're bringing him over right now.
Hey. How you doing, guys?
Not too bad. How are you?
Everything is good.
Thanks for taking the time, dude. Can you just tell everybody who you are?
Yeah, I'm Gabo Zeta. I'm from South America, from Ecuador. I work as an illustrator and also a 3D artist.
Awesome.
Wonderful. And this is the first figure you made for us right here. Check that one out.
That thing is awesome, dude.
Universally, all of our heads exploded when we saw it.
Yeah, it's wild, man.
I just got the notice this morning. They are he shipped it to like this intermediary, and I got they should be here on Monday, so they'll be here in time to ship to everybody. Really fantastic figure. And I apologize. On the last show, I said that you were from Peru, but you're actually from Ecuador.
Yeah, don't worry. We are like neighbors.
High five Peru.
Who was the last person who was from Canada, and I said they were from Australia? It's like Dove just being racist again.
It was Magoo.
You said Magoo was from the UK.
Yeah.
Was that it? No, but that wasn't like Toysaholic or someone else was. I don't know. It's really hard. Have hundreds of artists from dozens of countries, anyway. So, what is the toy scene like in Ecuador? Are there other?
It's pretty small, but I'm making like for the first time like an art toy con here in Ecuador.
Wow!
So I can gather all the artists that are under the rocks and
nice.
Be like a more live community, like with graphic artists, illustrators.
Sounds amazing. And then this figure, there's a lot of, I think as you told me, this is a very let's say Ratfink inspired. Got the helmet.
Ed Roth all over is that figure. I really love all that 60s, 50s monsters, and also I try to mix it with the 90s cartoons. Like I'm for the 90s, so that's the
nice. It's a great.
That was one of the things I was going to say about it. For an original sculpt and original character, it's immediately accessible, and I think it's because it feels like a perfect 90s cartoon that just didn't exist. So even though we don't know, like never seen it before, we immediately connect with it just because of that, which is awesome.
Awesome.
Do you have the loose figure handy?
Yeah. So the thing I wanted to tell you real quick is that I'm on the Making a Mutant group,
Mhm.
So
Mm.
this toy started like a torso first. So this was like the I don't know if you can see the
Oh
like
wow.
original
wow.
figure. So
Yeah.
I wanted to use that torso on a different whole figure. Yeah,
Okay.
Very cool.
yeah,
Got a bad part on that figure. That thing's wild.
yeah. It's crazy. All the guys went crazy and on every round.
Yeah, it looks crazy.
That's
It's
awesome.
wild.
Here is the loose figure. It's like
Look at
a
that.
test shot. So the actual figure is with the arms in orange.
Mm.
Yeah. So the thing is that I want to make like a whole line so you can interchange all the parts. So this one is magnetic, so you can
Oh wow.
Wow.
put on his helmet.
That's
That's
awesome.
dope.
It's a totally different character with the helmet too. That's so cool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. So
Very cool.
yeah, I can make like something like an R2D2 with this one also. Yeah. Something like that.
It's like a little golem.
Wow.
That's amazing. So you're
Nice.
you're gonna continue with this line?
Yeah, I have a couple ideas to new torsos and new legs and arms.
And let's talk about the card art. Who did that illustration?
Yeah, this one made a friend of mine here from Ecuador called Ariamis.
It's
He's like madly crazy with detail, so I got this one too. Yeah,
look at that. That's insane, dude.
It
So
looks
cool.
awesome.
yeah. So this one is like the zoom part of the
Wow.
actual.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's crazy talented.
Huge draw to that toy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It's like coming out of the gate strong with your first release here.
Mm.
That is a winner.
so
Awesome, thanks.
what is it like in Ecuador, like making toys? Like, does everyone just think you're weird?
Yes, so it's like a whole conversation of letting them know that it's not only for kids. It's
Right.
like explaining cartoons or stand-up. No, I don't know.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, it's hard enough here in the United States. I can just imagine, like.
It's not a toy.
yeah, you're gonna break it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so what do you do?
I tried to travel
Oh, yeah.
to Mexico, so the scene is pretty big in Mexico. So last year I traveled like 2 times for expos related to graphic arts and toys.
Nice.
Yeah.
And how was that? Was that what's the community like there? Are they like inviting is it a good feeling when, like, other Latin American countries, people from other Latin American countries show up, or is it like, this is Mexico only, get out of
Yeah,
here?
I feel pretty welcome.
Yeah.
Also with they have like a lot of shows that you can customize figures.
Mhm.
So it's like open for everybody that want to participate. And also I went down and made my first vinyl figure there. That is this one. It's also Rat inspired.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool.
It almost even looks like the Mad Balls head poppers.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I'd love Madball head poppers. I wish I had a set of those right now, and I don't, because I sold all my original Madballs because they're all made out of foam, and I had like a loose set, and they're just gonna become dust.
Dissolve, yeah.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
But you sold the head poppers too?
I never had the head poppers. I saw a graded one of the vehicles, and I was like, I really wanted it. It was so much money. It was like $1,000. I was like,
yeah,
oh,
the vehicle. It's like
I
a
mean, I think
basketball.
of anything Mad Balls, I want the head poppers more than anything.
Mhm.
But I'd even take a loose set, just a beautiful loose set. But anyway, well, thank you, sir, so much for hopping on here and making such a great figure. They are on
It is
sale
awesome.
Yeah.
literally right now. So
Right
anyone
now.
Yeah,
watching,
go get one.
DKEtoys.com, click on the store link. Everything is up now and selling. So it's a very small edition. They will be here on Monday, hopefully in time to ship. And this is his first piece with us all the way from Ecuador, which is, I get very excited, like the more countries on the map like that we can represent. So it's always pretty awesome.
Yeah. Thank you
Oh,
guys.
yeah.
All right, man. Thank you.
Nice to meet
Really
you.
appreciate
Nice
it.
to
We'll
meet
talk
you,
to
man.
soon.
Great work.
That was fun.
That was
So
awesome.
cool. Is Edwin
The
in
thing
the
about-
chat?
Yes.
Oh.
What were you gonna say, Scott?
The thing about head poppers, the Mad Boss toys,
Yeah.
is that if you actually got hit with one, it was a heavy rubber ball. Like, I remember the trigger got loose. I fired the trigger on it one time. It hit me in the tooth. It
Sounds like a
hurt.
lawsuit waiting to happen.
Yeah,
Or at least a
that's
trip to the dentist. Yeah.
Indeed. All
Peter
right, let me
Vogel
try-
thinks that Scott needs some facial hair because he looks out of place with the rest of us. So.
Nice. Peter, what's up?
Wow.
All right, let's bring in Edwin. I know he's taking a break here.
All right.
He's
Edwin, you ready to come in?
because we were listening to Walter Wanderley before we started the chat.
Remember we used to do this live for like days at a time?
Hey,
Yeah.
there's the guy. Ah.
What's up, dude?
What's going on, man?
Hello, how are you?
We are living the dream
Good.
collectively.
Are you
How are things?
hiding out like at the bathroom of your university? Where are you? It's very echoey.
This is the university. Here is the new media department. I can show you. This is the 3D printing lab.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's in this moment installed the machine, the 3D printing, and after downstairs we have the virtual reality lab, and I have in there is the other part of the department. Is animation studio, and this is there is the audio studio and the video studio.
Wow!
Here is the place we can rest.
I went to college
Are you
like
the
30
only
years too early.
student, that goes to this school?
Yes,
Where's everyone?
it's kind of. And sometimes you can find me here like this.
Nice. So are you taking classes or are you teaching classes?
No, I take classes. I decide to make a minor in computer science and a major in new media for to study to make video games and virtual reality.
I mean, it seems like you could teach a lot of the art classes there, but you could teach like puppet making and modeling and wood sculpting and all that stuff.
Yeah. The only fact is for to teach in some universities, you need to have a PhD.
And that's old media. He's studying new media.
That sounds like a scam to me. You need to come here and go to school and pay all this money, and then maybe you could teach.
Yeah, but this is a really amazing place, and we have really amazing professors.
Well, let's talk about this guy.
Okay, this is Tatao, because I can say the other name.
So
Tatao and Cancelito. Because
I love it.
So good.
Because I don't know if it's in English solo. What I mean solo in English.
Solo is the same as the
One.
Spanish, like by itself, you know.
Alone, yeah.
Alone, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. When I see this little guy over this, it's solito, leave alone.
I think George Lucas gave everyone those names on purpose. Like Luke Skywalker, you know, was like this person who's going to go in the galaxy. And Han Solo, he was sort of the loner, right? He was just the guy who didn't, you know, want to be attached to people, was sort of
Except for Chewie.
yeah, well,
Who doesn't
but
want
anyway.
Chewie?
Exactly. And so for anyone who's not familiar with Edwin's work, he made 5 of these guys. He hand sculpted each one. So he's not casting these like a lot of the other artists we're working with. He's actually, if he makes an edition of 5, he's got to sculpt all of them from scratch and hand paint them and then sign and number them, which is fantastic. And these little amazing babies are in the store right now. DKEtoys.com.
Beautiful.
So good.
We also have a full-size AT-AT from him. If you're really crazy, it's like this big, and it has like a sound chip in it, and it, you know, it plays music and it
Plays reggaeton.
It's really impressive. It's really impressive.
You know, I always imagine somebody really geek and at the same time Barrio Loco, Vida Loca with his AT&T in wood. To say, yeah. You know, 80s with the big cassette player.
Yeah,
But
the
with the
boombox,
AT&T.
Yeah, that AT-AT is something to behold in person. It is massive and amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
amazing. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. Don't want to keep you from your next class here. I know you got a busy day. You said you're going to be there till 8 p.m. or something like that?
Yes, yes.
Wow.
Cool. Crazy, crazy.
Well, thank you so much. And good luck for all the artists. And thank you for all the families for to help to make this possible. This is amazing. Thank you.
We really appreciate it. Thank you for all your hard work. We will talk to you soon.
See you,
Bye-bye.
See you, dude.
Study hard.
Yeah.
Very hard.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Man, seriously, like I did go to college like 30 years too late. You got 3D printing labs and animation labs and
Dude, it was like when I walked back onto campus, like I don't know how many years, like 5-10 years later, it's like they just got an endowment of millions of dollars and just built new facilities, and everyone's got cameras, and it's like, what the fuck just happened? It's
Yeah.
like I feel like I went to school in the 1950s.
yeah.
I don't think it changed. Like I don't think there was anything different from like 1950, except maybe there was a computer lab. Like
Right. Yeah. No,
That was it.
When I went to film school, we were in a building that was not officially structurally condemned, but also probably shouldn't have had classes in it. And
Yeah.
the newest technology we had was a thing called Media 100, which doesn't even exist anymore, which is like prior to the Avid for editing. You had a jazz drive that you could store something like 9 edits on. So you have to do these things like 9 edits at a time. And
I had a Media 100.
did you really?
I did. That
Oh,
was
Media 100.
that was a beast.
Yeah.
And then I just think like how much hard drives were. I remember when like the 9 gig drive came out, and you're like,
And it was like
whoa.
mind blowing. Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
Editing on a
Um,
postage stamp size screen. And anyway, editing.
Is Chicken Burger Disco around?
I
He's
believe.
in the chat.
Ask him if he wants to pop in.
Dylan, you want to come in?
If I sing copyrighted music, does that fuck with YouTube? Do they kick us off and shit?
I don't think so.
Can you hear me?
Not
driving today. I'm not driving. And the settings are the same as last time. That's the part that worked, I guess. So.
Nice. Well, actually, what I did is on the DKECON.com site, it's actually just DKE Toys /Zoom link is what you're clicking on. And then I just give the web developer the link so that even if the link changes in the future, I just send him the new link and you're still clicking on the same thing.
okay.
You thought about that. All right, dude, let's talk about this amazing thing.
Oh, well, first, I think I have an
Wow.
apology to make because
Uh-oh.
Ian isn't in the. Ian isn't
I
in
was
the.
kidding. It's fine.
He's
Well,
not in the
either way.
credits, but he's in the coloring book.
Yeah,
I
he
think
is
I-
in there.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot
I
of
mean-
people didn't make the coloring book.
Ian's right there.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So
Yeah.
good.
I mean, who makes a 16-page activity book
yeah,
to
that
mount
book
their
is great.
figures onto?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Once it gets in your head, you can't not do it. So, like the card back that comes with, or like the extra card or the piece of art,
This
that
guy.
was the original plan. And then I went, man, why don't I do the activity book instead? And so then, now you have both.
So what are you gonna do?
The activity book
Freeze.
looks so cool because you copied it so well. Like
Yeah.
even the cover stock and the paper on the inside, it just looks so awesome.
Thanks, man. Yeah, well, it's what it was. Like it's ripping off like what other people had done, right? Go get a bunch of old coloring books, study the formats or the activities. I was like, you know, because when you start doing, you're like, what activities do I put in here? Word find. And the more I read through old ones, I went, oh, cool, maze. Yeah, that makes sense. And then you just start creating all those things. And so
did you actually put all of these words in the word find?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I thought it would be funnier if
Toys is in there too.
I thought it'd be funny if you just didn't put any of them. If you put none of them
random
there.
words.
You got to actually do it. Yeah, no, I did it. It was fun. Like the more complicated you made it, the more, you know, the larger it got. And I didn't want it to be easy. So if anybody actually did it,
Here
I
it
wanted
is.
it to have some
DKE
work.
Toys, it's right there.
That is a lot of letters.
Oh man, you found it. I couldn't find it last night. I was trying to find it.
That's unbelievable. So we talked online really quickly. Well, just for anyone who's watching, there's only 15 of these in the world. They're signed right there on the bottom. They're for sale right now in the store. But after these 15 are gone, and I get it, you know, what we sell is relatively expensive for what they are. I mean, it's inexpensive for handmade art, but expensive for, you know, compared to regular action figures. But I think this book has life beyond this 15 units. Like, are you going to make more of these?
I can. I was kicking around doing like an actual comic that's very much like an alt comics type thing where you have like here's a story for one character and then you cut to a story for another character, fake advertisement. But I could always run another pressing of these. So
it's amazing. Look at this one. It says, "Hey, that guy's a total Chewy."
That's when you're at the end of the book. You're just trying to say something.
I mean, I feel like you can't put this much time and effort into making something and only have 15 of them in the world.
I only made 20 total, like actual books. Like there's only like I got a couple spare and then like, you know, the one AP and then one for myself. So
most people who work in animation and graphics, like everything just takes like forever. And I don't know what you do or what secret sauce you got, but like someone mentioned something to you and then the next day it's like it's dancing across the screen. It's like
I'm maybe lazy or sloppy or I work, you know, as fast as possible kind of thing. I usually feel like
either of those
too
things.
slow.
Like
but
I did a coloring book for my show with Earth to Kentucky, and it took me half a year. You knocked it out in like you're like, hey dude, look at this. And I'm like, holy crap, this is like done.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I can't explain it. Maybe it is caffeine, not the other one.
Buzzard Guts says it's the sloshy sauce.
Definitely the sloshy sauce. It's I think more than anything, it's when there's a thing in my brain, I gotta get it out, or I just get like it gets stuck on like the cycle and I won't talk about anything else and I won't do anything else. So if there's an idea, I have to get it out, you know, and sometimes that just means like I have to go on like adrenaline mode to like get everything done. And then it's tweaking or enhancing, and then I can think clearly again.
Right.
So
but it's not only the graphics, it's like the sound effects and the music, and it's like there's just so many elements to what you do. And then not, you know, to mention making toys and activity books and graphic design and all that. It's just
you're a unicorn, dude.
I probably drive my family a little bit bonkers with it just because it is which one of the projects is he working on? Oh, he's in the garage. Okay, that's casting, right? And then he's painting at the table, and then he's making a video, and then he's doing a voice, and then like, you want to spend some time with this, or what are you doing? Like, oh yeah, sure. What's up?
amazing.
I've been trying to slow down. Believe it or not, I've been trying to slow down. I've been working very hard on like, chill out, man.
Well, it shows because you put out a fucking coloring book with your action figures.
Yeah.
Janky's pissed.
I'm not pissed. I love it.
Well, thanks, guys. I'm glad you guys like it. I thought it was really good, but I never know how these things are going to translate, you know? So it's like, well, I like this idea and I want to do it. And that's really all there is to it.
you know, when you only make 15 and then I buy one and Janky buys one and Ian buys one, it's like you sort of have a captive audience.
Nice. My wife says that I'm the toy maker's toy maker, right? So it's like, she's like,
That makes
"Do you-
sense. Yeah.
Do you translate to everybody else? No. And I'll say like, I get that. That makes sense to me. Like sort of playing to the home team kind of thing. So
Nice. Well, we
Yeah,
appreciate
playing to
all
the
the hard
back, they
work.
say that too. Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, like, you know, like green plastic tunnels or somebody like that. Like I'm not like, I can't do what that guy does, but in a way, the audience is the same. We're playing for, yeah, hey, all
I
this
see.
that
I
make
can
this
see
craft.
that too. Yeah.
Yeah, all this that
Mhm.
like make like this stuff and make this stuff. We're kind of making it for each other and going like, hey, here's $20. Oh, give me $20. Oh, here has $20. Here, give me $20. That's like
Yeah.
We are
this game
passing the
play.
same bills around in a circle constantly. Yeah.
Totally.
Definitely. All right, dude. Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate all the hard work. Great figure.
Excellent
and
work.
Yeah.
Anybody
Yeah.
who's here in the chat, these are available right now in the store for as long as they last.
I would imagine not long.
Only 15 in the world, and obviously we're always looking forward to whatever else you come up with. So
Cool. Yeah.
Thank
Trying to
you
think of the
again.
next thing. So thanks. Thanks for having me.
take care, man.
Thanks, dude.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
See you,
Dude.
man. See you guys.
Who else is in the chat? Is Jimmy Folklore here? I know
Jimmy
he was.
Folklore is there, yes.
And who else is there? Buzzard Guts around.
Let's see.
Yep.
Buzzard Guts popped in. Sadat is
Alright.
there.
Cool. Let's see if
Who
we can
else
get
is-
Jimmy and then Buzzard Guts in before 1 o'clock.
All right. Jimmy, you good to come in? Let me know.
I kind of left it kind of loose with killer bootlegs. I could. What happens when I'm in the Zoom and then I go to text somebody?
It goes blank.
Oh, okay. Doesn't fuck anything up.
I mean, a little, but nothing I can't fix later. All right, Jimmy's ready. We're gonna bring him in.
It goes blank or like my.
Like it turns off your camera.
Turns off your camera and then comes back. Yeah,
Oh, that's terrible.
but gotta do what you gotta do.
So basically, what you're saying is every time I go to text someone, it like costs $50 in editing.
At least. At least.
Those text rates went up.
It used to be 10 cents.
Yeah.
There he is. Hey!
Hey, it's
Hey.
Mr. Folklore. How are you, sir?
I'm well. I'm literally just walking out of work.
Nice.
How are
Yeah,
you
it's
guys?
fun. It's funny trying to schedule everyone today. It's like one was like, "Oh, I'm in between classes," and
Yeah.
General Porpoise like has to leave to go pick up his kids, and you like after work, and so we're trying to make it all work here. It's crazy.
We're still sort of on pandemic time with this. We started doing it. So.
Yeah.
maybe one
Well,
day
we're
I
also
should.
on opposite coasts.
That's true. That makes it difficult.
Maybe one day I should just do an actual schedule and give people time slots.
This is sort of a freewheeling format. I don't mind it.
Wow.
I like it a little.
This is how I
loosey-goosey,
operate.
Yeah.
I operate kind of just flying by the seat of my pants, so I'm good with it.
I like that that response. Like,
Well, do you really want to do that work? And then will people actually show up for their time slot?
more or less, you still have to be agile and be able to change on the fly. Definitely.
Yeah,
but
sure.
That's how it goes. So we're talking to General Porpoise earlier, and you have 2 releases or maybe 3. Let's talk about this one first. I think this is the 6th one in the set. Is that right?
This is the 5th. We still have
The
to
5th.
do Protocol will be the last, and we've
Nice.
bounced around a couple of plans to get everybody involved in the Broids involved in that one. So it'll probably be something that has Porpoise involved and has Hannah involved with the drawing, and also has Ian involved with he's the one that did the special card for Arco.
Nice.
So we'll try to make Protocol special. When that will be, I don't know yet.
What is the name of the figure that you used?
Of the base figure?
Yeah, like
so there's a couple
the-
of different ones. The He-Man legs come from one of those. I collect those like mini He-Man figures that kind of in that scale already. I think
Mhm.
those ones are called Treasures of Those Lost Temples. I think is the line that those legs come from.
Yeah,
And then
I recognize that is because Victor made a little He-Man figure of me, and it's got this like really buff torso, and like those are the legs, and
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
got one in a collection. Like there's one in a box out in the warehouse, and it's like just dirty as hell. And I was like, "What is this?" I'm like, "Those are the legs. That's it."
I wanted to make a He-Man in that scale because I actually collect specifically He-Man knockoffs that are in that scale. I have a very small 5.5 collection, but I don't actually collect 5.5. I try to keep it at 3.75.
Is it
So-
this line?
It's so it's not that one because I think those are called Muscle Warriors, maybe, or something like that. There's so many of them.
They're
I can't
all
keep,
so
but
similar.
it's not static like that.
Okay, it's actually articulated. Okay.
The articulation that exists. Well, he changed it to his own articulation because Porpoise always makes it his own. So but yeah, he maintained the articulation that existed in the figure.
Nice.
But with his own joints. Yeah. And then the head is from a Boba Fett bootleg that I have from China that came in like a weird set that came out around Force Awakens time. And the arms are from Commando figures, and then the chest is from Arco Space Wars, which is the same place that Arco figure came from.
Is that keeping the Arco theme alive? I love it.
Yeah, I tried to kind of work within that. Like that's like my palette. It's a little bit of it had the Star Wars trunk that was used from the R2, and then some of the Arco parts from that line, and then the two places where I grabbed the muscly stuff from.
Gotcha.
And originally it was going to be a repeated thing, kind of like the first He-Mans, where you just kind of, it was one body that the head kept changing. But then as Hannah was getting really more elaborate with some of the art that she was sending me for the front, and then Porpoise would see that. So he was like, well, what if we change the legs on Bad Motivator to make it look more like the art? And then those kind of discussions happened, and the figures sort of organically changed. But yeah, originally it was supposed to be just one of those like bootleg lines that just has the same body with a different sticker and a different head, like Starroid Raiders, for example.
Making the best of those molds. Yeah.
I found the figure.
Yeah. Right. So not that specific line, but yeah, that body type. Yep.
But isn't that that's not the legs that used?
It's probably the same legs because those companies that did those all did the same ones. But mine came from
it's different. You're right.
It's upstairs. Yeah. It's in that same like range of kind of like bootleg 3 3/4 inch
there's just such an infinite number of those knockoffs that, I mean, you know, there's bootlegs of knockoffs and knockoffs of knockoffs. It's dizzying. The further you get down that rabbit hole, you know.
And I'm sort of like I kind of put myself at that next tier, like it's a knockoff of a knockoff of a knockoff, and then an art thing of that. Like it's the next step. But
look how dirty this guy is.
Yeah, I saw that Ian handed it to you in a rag. Like I didn't even want to touch it
because I got this shit all over my fingers now. Like,
yeah, that's one of the wrestlers, because clearly it's trying to look like it's supposed to be like kind of like an Andre the Giant. Yeah. Look, there's a whole line that does that, where it's just the mini He-Man body with like Hulk Hogan, like a knockoff Hulk Hogan. Yeah. I have a bunch of those too in that scale that are metal. Those ones I really like. There's two different lines that I collect that are die cast metal that are like that. I have never cast those.
Interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
They're great. I love them. Galaxy Warriors, not the larger Galaxy Warriors. These are also called Galaxy Warriors, and Power Fighters is the other one.
Power Fighters, that's the one. Yeah, I recognize that one.
Those are both die cast metal parts. Those are really fun.
So cool.
Awesome.
So let's talk about McDonald's burger balls.
Yeah.
Bring on the balls.
So yeah, another bootleg of a bootleg of a bootleg kind of thing. Yeah.
Fantastic. Comes in, I don't know, like, did you find a template for this online? Like, this is
yeah, so that's Ian.
Ian did that. Okay.
Same guy that helped with the Arco. So right after we did Arco and that show went up, he was like, he sent me this text and was like, hey, I've been working on this design. It's like this little mini burger box, if you ever have any thoughts about that. And
Oh, so the burger box came first.
Burger box came first, yeah.
Look
And
at
before
that.
the tray card, it was gonna be, I was gonna pitch just that to you, like here's some weird little thing in a box. But I had these Madball, they're bootleg, they came from like the little capsule machines that you could put a quarter in. Except for they were jellies or what do you call them, jigglers. They were like little bootleg knockoff jigglers that had a suction cup on the back, and they were hard knockoffs. Like these are the characters from Madballs.
Wow.
So I don't imagine that they were called. Oh, actually, can I grab something?
Sure.
Yeah.
While you're gone, I'm just going to show this off to people. So it's the two Madballs that are magnets. And he managed to get a magnet that was powerful enough that he could make all the inner parts of the sandwich.
I guess it's okay to reveal this since we're already saying the word Madballs. I actually have a carded piece there.
I'm just showing them.
Whoa.
The wacky ghoulies.
Wacky ghoulies.
Holy shit.
So that would have been like the glass face thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Did you cast
Wacky
those?
Ghoulies, that is
So the one bummer
cool.
about Wacky Ghoulies is they're just those cheap jigglers, and they just have like a little blast of spray paint on them, and they're just like whatever. I have them all loose too.
But
So
how do you
how do
you pull a mold of that without like it distorting because it's jelly?
They probably distort a little bit, and it's a bootleg.
It's okay that Grimace distorts a little bit. I think he.
I
can...
see.
Yeah,
but I mean,
they
don't
worked
look.
out.
They don't look distorted.
No.
I mean, it doesn't look
No.
like the nose is concave. Or did they get hard over time? Or are they still jelly like?
They're still jigglers, and I guess I packed. So I was gonna dump. I was just an open dump mold, so I just packed.
I see.
There's and they're kind of like because they're on a suction cup, they kind of are concave in the back. So I packed it with a little bit of clay, just so that it would kind of keep its form enough. And then I wasn't pouring over the top, so it was just like a big open pour.
Got it. That makes.
I'd be worried
sense.
I realized after the fact that it was so I should put the magnets in when it's wet. I ended up drilling them, but next time.
Yeah. I would have worried that the silicone would have stuck to the jiggler or something. Like I've got a bunch of jigglers I wanted to cast. I was afraid to because I didn't know how the chemicals would react.
What did Dane just say? He just said it said, quote, do they get hard?
Do they get hard?
Was that is that your question or are you quoting me?
He's quoting you.
Oh, of course they get hard. Look how excited they are.
They're gonna win a date with Grimace.
Yeah, I have
Todd
no
already
idea. I
won
might
his
have just
date.
got lucky. I don't know. It worked, and it worked easily. Sometimes
Be careful
I
what you
try
say.
things-
You're gonna get a quote from Buzzard Guts now. Like, oh, did he just say get lucky? Okay, sorry.
That's fine. Dane and I go way back. He can say whatever he wants.
So
I'm
when
sorry.
is Scott's date with Grimace? Didn't he win the first date?
We've decided to turn this into a dating game show.
Yeah.
Like
Reality.
Eliminate style with Grimace.
Wow.
Well, really fantastic. The execution, I just love all these little pieces here that go in between the two magnets, and you've got a magnet that was powerful enough to sandwich everything together and then go into the little burger thing right here.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
And then
The burger box is so cool
the
too.
card.
tray
which
is just
the tray. It
frameable on its
Yeah.
own.
Look at that.
Concept and the addition of the tray was my idea after Ian showed me the box, and then Ian designed the box and did all of the like artwork on that. Some of my kids came up with some of the slogans that are on there, and then
Nice.
and then since he showed all the little pieces, he credit to Ian for that. He did all of the of those little like intricate stickers. Each one of those is a sticker that has like an inner sticker that you can peel out of the cheese. And then he printed all the backs and die cut all those too with the same technique he was using for the Arco card.
Wow.
That's
So
crazy.
he put a ton of work into this. And
You mean all of these are all of these are die cut stickers.
they're all stickers, yeah.
That's rad.
Oh,
I
so
realized
this
I hadn't seen you mention that yet, and I realized you might not know.
I just, it's like there's so many details that like look
Yeah.
at that.
They're kind of like those top stickers, like where you would have like
It's
you peel it for like
Just,
and then the back is printed in that. Yeah, kiss cut, and then the back is printed the same way.
Can I
that those
say
cards would
something?
be.
That sells it so hard.
Yeah.
Knowing that those, I'm serious. That sells
Yeah, I
it
mean,
so hard knowing that those are kiss cut stickers.
it's really fun. Yeah,
in
Ian
there.
bounces some really great ideas, and I'm you know, he says, "What, you have something you can do with this?" And I was like, "Well, maybe could we put it together this way? Is that possible?" Thinking
you
at
ever
some
heard of
point he's going to tell me
McDonald's
no, and
burger
it was like,
ball?
"Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, we'll do it."
Can I just say too, all of this is in a $30 freaking toy. Like,
Yeah.
if these are around by the end of the week, I will be back.
We're trying to get our balls out there.
Yeah. All right.
But
So for
also,
anybody
like,
watching, I'm
yeah.
sorry, there's 2 editions of 10. The one I just showed you, and then this one.
So there's Grimass. What are all the rest of their names?
So the main character is Dongle McBurgerball is his name.
Here's the back of the card.
Nice.
And then we have the Burger Ball Burglar, which isn't that great of a name, but it's really hard to say, so I love it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the Fry Guys are the Eye Guys.
Eye Guys.
Awesome.
And Grimace. Look at that.
And
All
those
on the
are
back
bootlegged wacky ghoulies.
Those are bootleg wacky ghoulies, which are
That is
bootleg
fucking
mad
far
balls.
out, man. Far out.
Wow. Amazing. Let me just show the other 2 right here. Is the eyeball.
And that's the Burger Ball Burglar.
And again, this makes a
Wow.
sandwich with these super powerful magnets. There's 2 sets. There's this set and the other set. There's only 10 of each. If you buy both of them online, I'm sure we can pull you matching numbers because we're nerdy that
Ian
way.
just panicked.
No, totally fine.
All right, Jimmy, thank you so much. We really
Sure.
appreciate you taking the time.
course.
Fantastic work. You're always delivering. We really, really appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Always a
See you soon.
pleasure.
Home run, dude.
Cool, man. Wacky ghoulies, man.
Wacky
Those are
ghoulies.
so cool.
Very cool.
Just that-
You want to bring it? Oh, sorry. You have conversating.
I was just gonna say, I mean, it just adds another layer to it that, you know, from the discussion we had in the last episode, like that it's now a bootleg of a bootleg of a bootleg. That I don't know. That's why I love doing these. We get all these stories behind the figures that you don't know otherwise. That just brings a lot more life to them.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And those gumball displays, I'm such a sucker for those.
Yeah.
Especially for one that's so cool like Wacky Ghoulies.
Yeah. But
I
I love
love that.
I love
That's
the
great.
card with that blister over it. You know, like just that sort of rack toy aesthetic is, which is, you know, associated with such a cheap sort of toy from our childhood, but trying to recreate that today is like it's too expensive for
It's
everyone.
expensive. Yeah.
Just crazy. Let's bring in Dane.
Dane.
If he's ready, put your pants on.
I don't even ask Dane. I just throw him into the fire and let him cook. Oops.
If we have another minute waiting for Dane, Abracadapoof is in the chat all the way from Indonesia. I just want to show you this toy because it has arrived since we
it
did
showed
our
up.
last show.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it is fantastic. It is on the site now. It's a very small run.
10
It
pieces.
how many pieces?
10.
10 pieces. And so it's got a cassette with 9 songs that he wrote. And of course,
Of course.
look at that.
So
wow.
Beautiful figure with a cassette. And it is double-sided tape, so you could probably peel this off to get the cassette out. Ian did run it out to his car and play it, and did enjoy reporting back about but anyways,
Yeah,
that is
I had to see what it was like before I cased them. So
it's pretty magical. So anyway, that is in the store
good
now.
stuff.
And now, where has Buzzard Guts gone? I saw him.
Hey!
What's up, nerds?
So
What's up, dude?
I don't know what's going on with this app. It's like throwing me all these windows. Am I there?
Yeah.
You're here.
Can you
Hi.
not see us?
Hey, every time I see you, which is like once a year on Zoom, you start to look more and more like a wizard.
He is a wizard.
That's notwithstanding. I'm just saying, like, he's living, living the life. Like,
Sleeping in
me.
caves and eating toads.
Depends on the toad, really.
Of course it does. How you been, dude?
Pretty good, pretty good. Yeah. I finally finished the figures for this, and do you have, what is it that we do this time? Oh, this one.
Wow. You're my hero, dude. That's all I have to say. So this, I believe, is the 6th figure in the Star World series.
Number 6.
Fenstive Buznalia.
Finstive, yeah, I don't know what that means. Neil came up with that name.
That's
It
pretty
reminds me of
fantastic.
Bacchanalia, which I wonder if it is anything. Need to look it up. I have no idea what it means. It's just a ridiculous name.
And the photos on the back, right here, that Neil painted from Last Boss Comics, is really wow. So are you gonna actually make Guy Walker, Tubal Cain, and Goggins?
Okay, so I'm thinking Goggins is going to be next,
Oh yeah,
and then Guy Walker will include Tubal Cain,
I see.
Nice.
like his pet, and it's Guy Walker, but I think it's a guy in a spacewalker suit. So we're going to reveal who's in that suit when we put that figure out.
I'm afraid.
You should
You
be.
should be.
Yep.
It's just I don't know why this line tickles me. It's
amazing.
The
So
number
good.
of people who come to the site to buy this and only this figure is very interesting to me. There are Star Wars collectors, like vintage Star Wars collectors, who probably have very few handmade figures in their collections, but because you base this on that vinyl case, there's just this group of fans that this piece has.
There it is.
This is what they want.
So good.
And I don't think they look at anything else on our site. I think they just come here, like spend a minute on the site, they buy this figure, and then they leave until next year when you make another one.
I have about 5 of these cases.
Oh, look at that.
Nice.
5 of those cases.
Yeah.
I have an idea.
And we just recently found out that all of the card art for that series fits together in a giant image.
Oh yeah.
On the cases?
No, the Thane's figures.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
they
Neil made all
No way.
Holy shit. I had no idea.
fucking rad.
Oh, I can show you. Is that other
And
order?
then this one.
I'll be right back.
This one.
Oh, he's got it.
Oh my God.
Shit.
Damn, dude. That's amazing. I had no idea.
Isn't
So
that dope?
idea.
I think, it's a set. We're going to, Tubal Cain, I'll have a separate illustration probably, but I was kind of hoping to put a trading card set out.
Yeah.
Or a
That's
poster or something.
It would be 9 cards in the set. I think the figure set would be 8 carded figures, and then Tubal Cain would be included with the Guy Walker. But if we did a card set, Tubal Cain would have his own illustration.
Whoa. Boy,
Good choice.
huh?
Fill that page.
Amazing.
Yeah, gotta have a whole page, right?
Yep. Otherwise, can't have those gaps. It's annoying.
Yeah, I heard you mentioned that on an episode, and I was like, oh man, yeah, that's good. That's a good point.
Well, because for years, Topps would put out
page.
these Topps would put out these subsets of cards, let's say in Garbage Pail Kids, and every subset had 10 cards. And it was
Right.
like, so what do you do? Do you do you put 9 and then 1 and leave an empty page and then go to the next one, or do you just continue so that they're just not your set just keeps moving further along? I don't know. It's just
The amount of time
you'd have
I've
to put a blank page, a white page in between them because you would see the cards on the next flap, and it would be it would just be so many different annoying little OCD things about it that
wow.
yeah, the amount of time I've spent thinking about this exact question is not okay.
But I mean, that is just card nerd extraordinaire right there. Like, put a blank page in between. Whoa.
I don't know if you knew this too. We also made a POG set.
What
are you talking about?
Oh shit.
Where's my POG set?
You know what? This was Neil's idea, so talk to him. I only have like a few of these. I think I have. They come in.
Sarah just yelled in the chat, "Pogs!"
We also have a riot scum set too.
Wow.
Pogs.
Is it bad that I'm more excited about the Pogs than I am anything else at this moment?
Yes, that is a serious problem.
Sarah Jo says me too.
Yeah.
We
awesome.
Neil found a website that makes these, and they come in a sheet, a card sheet,
right?
And
you can punch them out.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean,
that's
you
amazing.
could
When
get
did
a full card, or you could have them punched. But
when did he make these?
I think he made them around the last time, like after the Bounty Hunter figure. This one.
Well, Mr. Devlin is going to be getting a text from me. Fantastic. All right, dude. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. We really appreciate it. The Star World figure is available on the site now. It's only 20 pieces. It's the 6th in the series. I believe we have, I know Yeti is sold out. I think we have a couple Bounty Hunters and some, maybe I ate one before you. There might be 2 left. So
my favorite.
Yeah, we have
the Vader one, whatever its name is. Didn't it come in a collection? There's like one of those.
I actually got a set of the 5 in a collection recently, and we sold it. Yeah.
Yeah. You already sold it.
I
ate
one before you. It is the greatest.
Oh, you ate one too?
That's one thing about the names in the set. They live rent free in my head. Like, I walk around my house saying "Fenced Buzinalia" to myself for no reason. Like,
he's a spooky little dude too.
He's rad. Oh, Fenced Buzinalia.
Well, I'm waiting for the animated movie. So
yeah, we're working on it. Actually, the guy who designed these three are designed in a digital sculpt. And he has a way to animate all this stuff just with motion capture.
Oh, cool.
So maybe, I mean, I've been talking to Neil. He's got kind of like a rough idea of a storyline. So we'll see.
We have to have pictures of Dane in a motion cap suit.
I'm gonna be
playing. I ate one before you.
Amazing. All right, Dane. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it,
guys.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Good luck to you, man.
Let's turn this off. How do I turn it on?
I gotcha.
We got Kai around 1, so
Seth, are you good to go live? All right, bringing you live. Man, we haven't seen Seth in a while. This is exciting.
I was so happy when he's like, "Hey, I'm working on the next figure." I was like, "Oh shit!"
Whoops.
See there you go.
He's an FBI informant.
What up? Let me.
What's up, dude?
Should turn on a light.
FBI informant. Oh, Scott, that's why we keep you around.
Well, didn't help. There we go.
Yeah, did a whole lot, but that's all right.
What's up?
Not too much. How you doing, dude?
I got a Chihuahua, I think, since last time I talked to all you guys, or since I've seen you.
That's the big news.
Yeah.
Wow.
So big.
Nice.
Congratulations. Well, let's show everybody the new figure here.
So good.
Look at that. It's the tech industry CEO. Little Clippy, just so fantastic. And you know what I said
Epstein's Island, but
what I said on the last show is I actually have, you know, very few carded figures on display here in the office, but this entire Defenders of Injustice line is all on the top shelf of that case right there. And this one is going to go in there very soon, as soon as this show is over. Just such a fantastic figure, fantastic line, and back out right there.
Thanks. Oh, there was a spelling error on that, the image I sent you, but I fixed it. So just to let you guys know, the card is the correct spelling on the back. So, but the picture on the website might not be right. But
Oh, it's okay. I'm sure everyone is, you know,
Oh,
sitting there with a
Sadat
red
pointed out
pen.
something I missed, the Epstein Island on the background. I didn't catch that the first time around.
yeah,
Oh, that's what that is there?
yeah, dude.
Oh my God, dude.
Wow.
yeah. It's definitely not everybody gets it, but once you do, I guess.
That went over my head too. Yeah.
I couldn't. I was like, what can I do for the background? And I was just like, oh yeah.
I got that
I was thinking about, you know, Bill Gates or something, you know.
Well, he's been
Fucking hilarious, man.
That's amazing.
so good.
And this spy tech industry, look at that.
So great.
Yeah, and I've only ever sold this line through UW, so I think I may have traded a couple of art proofs back in the day of the burger guy, but the only ones that are out there are the ones you sold, so there's not too many of them out there.
It's a fantastic line. I hope it never ends.
Awesome.
It just works on so many levels. Like
Totally.
Even if we just get one every 2 years, that's fine. Just keep them
I
going.
think if I went out 1 year, I lost my studio for a long time. Now Austin's been hard with real estate, and I kept selling my studio property, and I had to move out. They happened to me twice, so I put all my stuff in storage for like 6 months because I just live in a condo, and it's like so hard to do anything inside my apartment. So, but I have a space that they have a 5-year lease, so I think I'm going to be good from here on out. So
Good. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
I saw you're doing a lot more painting too on your Instagram.
Yeah, I've just been doing a bunch of stuff.
That's so cool.
You know, whatever I feel like. You know, I don't know.
Good.
Pass the time.
Yeah.
that is the definition of living the dream, isn't it?
Yeah.
He just does whatever the fuck he wants.
No, but I got a couple more ideas. I'm gonna try to do some more figures. I got a bunch of resin and silicone, so I gotta use it before it goes bad. So
Well, we are always amenable to anything you want to do here.
cool. Yeah, everything's been good. I mean, all the stuff I've seen that's other artists are doing is awesome too. Especially I love Dane's stuff. All that's awesome. So it's a good group.
Yeah, this entire show has been pretty remarkably high
And
level.
two of you guys back to back doing long running series. How long have you been? When was their first one?
I want to say 2019 maybe or 18.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, I think so.
Like
Yeah.
5
Look
years.
that up.
Was it the Michelin? Was that the last one?
The last one I did might have been the little
the Bill.
Washington guy.
Which
But
one?
the first one I did was the burger guy.
It was the burger. It was the burger, and then the cheese,
Yeah.
and then the ice
Yeah.
cream,
Yeah.
the sugar lobby. Yeah,
And then the Michelin Man, and then the Bill.
the bill. Yeah,
Yeah,
not a bad figure in this set, dude.
No, I get a couple of other ideas, but I don't know. This one actually was one where it wasn't like I didn't have the idea for a long time. It just popped in my head, and I was like, "Oh, that's a good one." And then I was like, "Dub, should I do this one?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, I'll do this one." So
What
it
else?
kinda came to
What
me.
else am I gonna say? No.
Yeah.
Using that paper clip though was just such an inspired move. Like immediate hit of nostalgia as soon as you see it.
Yeah. I'm lobbying for a Ronald McDonald.
you did start this series in 2018 for
2018.
DKECON.
Man, it feels like it's been around longer than that.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I'm getting older every year.
Wow. Now we're just being mocked.
Uh,
I don't think it started now, Dove. I think it's been happening for
Oh man, is that how it goes?
yeah.
All right, dude. Well, thank you so much. Great work as always. Just I don't know, hits keep on coming, dude. So
Thanks.
just
Thanks for
really
having
appreciate
me.
you.
Nice to talk to you guys. Hopefully I'll make it out to California soon and see all you guys.
That'd be awesome.
Maybe for next DKECON or something. Been trying to get out there. Just been hard, but it's good to talk to you guys, and yeah, I'll talk to everyone soon.
Yeah, it's great
Cool.
to see you, man.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Take care. Oh, sorry.
I don't need where'd I put it? There we go.
Pendragon was not available today, but I could just run you through some of these figures because they're so exceptional here. Start with the most offensive first. It's just I don't know. I feel a little sensitive about because it's just so like oof. It's this Jesus crucified on a pentagram. And you know, it's like it's culturally acceptable to make fun of the dominant religion in the culture, but you know, if you did this to any other religion, it'd be like, oh, be cringeworthy. So yeah, fantastic. Addition of 20, Pendragon made these injection molded figures in Mexico. Yoyodyne said you included the clip in the last
Yeah. Yeah, I
the
put
last-
the clip in the last episode, so everybody
Oh,
can see.
yeah.
So if you haven't seen this injection molding process, go back to the last episode, and whenever we're talking about Pendragon, there's a clip of Yoyodyne actually making a Mexican injection molded press figure.
Where's the other Jesus figure? It's here. Oh, okay. And this one is just fuck
I
you.
love this one.
It's all signed on the back.
Then we can all get behind, you know.
Yeah. And then this one, here's Ian's favorite. It's called Jesus Loves You, But I Hate You. Fuck off.
It's wonderful.
Yes, indeed. Let me just check the participants here. Oh, we got everyone who's here. Oh, there's Kai right there.
Yep.
All right, if he's ready, let's bring him in.
Kai, are you ready to go live?
I'll do my song again. Do.
He said, yep.
Yep. All right, bringing you live.
I'm gonna end up like a screensaver.
Just gonna make it like a 40-hour GIF of you doing that.
What else are we supposed to say? Oh, like dovetails.
Oh yeah, we haven't done that in a while.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have to just figure out how to like. Oh, this figure just dovetails right into the next one.
Hey.
What's up, dude?
What's up, dude? How's it going?
I'm in jail.
Art jail.
Yeah, I got thrown in there for using Comic Sans.
You're lucky you didn't get executed for the Comic Sans one.
So our little graphics that we do on Instagram where we take the, you know, all of our text and we put our, you know, whatever the figure next to it. I was so offended by, you know, he called the font police and he had to redesign it for himself because the
I
other one
had to, dude.
was so offensive to him. And he's like, does this have to be on there? I'm like, people need to know when to buy it, dude. And he's like, it's clashing with my artwork.
No
believe
steps.
it.
I mean, oh shit! I got trouble here. Got a dog walker coming through. Okay. Oh, this is gonna get nuts. I'm gonna try to stay quiet. Wow. Go ahead.
Show us the dog walker. We want to see what's happening.
This ain't good for me right now. This will end soon. Here, I'll show you what's happening.
It's like dogs attack.
See you, cat. All right. Liza,
Amazing.
come here. Come here.
So he
I would
did make it pink. I didn't even notice that.
What was pink? Oh yeah, I just made it pink, and I worked on the kerning a little bit.
I didn't even notice that one bit.
Yeah.
I actually like the red. It just clashed with my art. That's all.
It's amazing.
So funny.
That's what artists do. We make things look better.
Every once in a while, Kai would just text me. He's like, "Hey, I want to make a figure. I want to do something." It's like, "Okay," and then she's like, "Let me know what you want to do." And then a year goes by, and then he texts me again. He's like, "Hey, we got to do something. Cool. Let's do something." It's like, okay. Then another year goes by, and then finally, I'm like, "Dude, when are we gonna do something?" He's like, "Yeah, we're gonna do something." And then what I had to do is I had to cast a Chewbacca figure. I said, "How's Chewbacca?" He's like, "Chewbacca's fine." And he's like, "But maybe Luke, maybe Han." He's like, "Okay." He's like, fine, Chewbacca. And then Ian mounted it on a cart, and I went over to his place, and then he did this.
So cool.
And then he was happy.
Yeah, I mean, it was really a lot of fun if you watch some of the videos of us making all that shit spin. And Dub, way to go, bro. You figured out how to screw it on so it wouldn't fly off my my high-tech spinning device.
Well, Ian originally put it with one screw, so we tried it with one screw. We knew that if we glued it and it spun around, it was just going to rip the card and fly off.
It did.
And then after the first tests, each Chewbacca figure would just go, and then we had to push it back into place. And obviously worried about tightening them too much and then just eviscerating the card back. So before we made the addition, Ian put 2 screws in each, very delicately there. And then
Way to go, Ian.
I brought these over to Kai's place. He spun them and was not sure what was going to happen, spinning with a figure, because if he placed the paint over here, the Chewbacca sort of blocks it.
Yeah.
And so he experimented with it on the side with center bottom and then center middle, and he settled on center middle. And then I had to bring these here, and then Ian had to take all the figures off. We had to mark which one went with which card. And then we got I silk screened each one, so all the black ink on there is actually silk screened.
So cool.
Yes. So I kind of continued the design of the splotches and the spinning in that silk screen. So it was quite a process, but in the end, it really turned out great. It's definitely a unique piece.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Chew became gooey.
And they're all unique, and we photographed all of them, so you can actually choose online which one you get. They are all unique, and they are fantastic. It's edition of 25. They're $80. Now, some of them, because what he uses on the card back and his spinner. Can I tell people how you make your spinner? Because it's is that top secret?
No,
I
like
can't.
people trying it at home.
Oh, okay. So I thought the spinner is when I was a kid and went to the fair and saw the spinner, it was this machine in this booth. No, he actually has a little box fan that he's cut the sides out of and is using the mechanism and has mounted a piece of cardboard. And then he builds this little thing around, so the paint splatter, but it's got a little little remote control on it.
It's a light dimmer. All I did was I plugged a fan into a light dimmer, and the light dimmer, oddly enough, controls the speed of the fan blades.
Wow.
And it never breaks. I've had it out on my deck for 10 years in the rain and whatever happens, it's yet to break on me.
Wow.
That's awesome.
And so he uses these little thumbtacks in order to keep the card from moving. So he'll put 4 thumbtacks on this card so that it can spin, and they all got nice paint on them. So I think there's 6 or 7 figures.
I love that. I love that they're brandishing a weapon.
Have a little hand painted thumbtack. So,
but we're actual pieces that were used in the making of the 25 signed and numbered GUID limited edition Dove Enterprises presents Kii Arens' very own toy.
So there you go. So I don't think that as it with what I think with all of the figures that we sell, I think they're all affordable art. I would say that if you showed up at Kai's door and wanted to get an original piece of art for $80, he'd tell you to fuck off. And in the most polite way, of course, but I think that you can't get a piece of art from him that he makes by hand like this. And I think he did it because it was so much fun and not for any other reason. So there's 25 of these, and I think you should go get one. And when they're gone, I don't know.
Oh, they're gone.
Never again, he says.
Although I have a few.
What were you saying, Scott?
Dub tells these cryptic stories like that's right. And when these are sold out, you're gonna do another one, aren't you?
Svengali-ing you into
it feels like Dub has some information on some of these artists.
Oh yeah,
Well, you got a nice, convincing way. And Dub, I've known Dub almost 20 years, and he's always been just awesome, cool demeanor. He gets a little touchy about his kerning, but other than that,
wow, that's amazing.
And
Yeah.
honestly, Dub, as many times as you make these art videos, I want you to hit the streets of LA, especially Van Nuys, and start raiding the taco fucking trucks. Dude, you got that game down.
Yeah, I did take him for tacos when he came by the warehouse, and he was very impressed. And it was like a shitty day for tacos. Like it was windy and no one showed up.
Oh man.
We only had second-rate tacos, and his like mind was like,
oh my god, it's
he
never
hasn't even gotten to the smash burger yet. Just taco.
the smash burger was not there. I took him on Thursday, and there was some usurper with another smash burger that we ate and was okay, but it was it was but it was that morning when it was so windy, and then everyone was just, they were just like, we're not, because I assume if you're gonna make tacos, you have to decide by noon or in the morning before you're going to bring this pot, this cone of meat to the street. Like,
I got to prep everything. And
so I think it was so windy that they just
so
didn't
good.
do it. He's still thinking about it.
So LA is so sketchy, you guys. I'm like in Studio City right now, and I think I'm watching a dude shoot up right now, right down. Yep, that's what.
That's what's happening.
Yeah. It's amazing that I like text Kai. He's like, hey, you want to be on the show? He's like, what time? At 1. And he's like, okay. And then he's just like on a street corner with his dog. Like, unbelievable. All right, dude. Be careful of those stray needles there.
Guys, it's so awesome that you guys just do all these amazing toys. I really am inspired to make something wild, wacky, and new. I see people try to imitate you, but you guys are the OG. So way to go, Dub. Thanks for letting me create with you. And thanks for literally running after me at DKECON.
I witnessed that. I did see that happen. True story.
What did I do?
You ran after me, dude.
I did?
You're like, come here, we're going to do this. And I'm like,
and you went, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you all remember that, because I don't remember shit. But it's awesome. All right, guys. Kai, thank you so much. Enjoy your dog walk, and
awesome. Ian, Scott, Janky, nice to see your faces on here.
Nice to see you.
Ian, glad to see that you cut your own hair. I'm appreciated you for that. And have a wonderful weekend.
All right, dude. Take care.
You too.
You too, man. How did he know I cut my own hair? Does it look that bad?
He sees things in the spinner. It's like the wizard in his ball. He just puts the spinner on and has visions.
Amazing. Miles, are you ready, or you want to
he
wait?
says he can do it.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Do it. Sometimes it takes like multiple clicks for this thing to do it. There we go.
Yeah, you'd think that they would have this nailed down.
Yeah.
They cornered the market during COVID.
Right. And then they're like, oh, we're good.
It hasn't changed. Hey!
Yay!
Howdy.
How's it going, dude?
Pretty good.
Living the dream.
Are you just rotating one guy with a beard to one guy with a beard to one guy with a beard?
Yeah.
Pretty much. It's roulette. You might get Scott. So that's the.
I mean, the beard thing is just laziness, right? It's just we don't want to, shave every day.
Yeah, we got toys to work on.
Yeah.
It's like, who has time?
Yeah,
It's like,
I look, I know, but if you saw the beard that I actually grow, is so pathetic and gross looking.
It's like a little patchy rat beard.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
I mean, so you do it out of necessity, right? Because people would shun you if you didn't do it. But the rest of us who can sort of pull it off, I can't grow like a long beard. I look like that doesn't work over here. But I don't know.
That suits you as is, especially with your gray tones that you like. It fits perfectly.
Hey, stop making fun of my wardrobe.
No, that was a compliment.
Carries through all the way.
Did that come up earlier? Oops.
Surprisingly not this episode, but
but just
usually
happens. I don't know why my wardrobe is so entertaining to people. It topic of conversation, but it is what it is. But we're here to talk about you.
All
Forget
right.
about me and my wardrobe. Look at this guy.
Look at that.
This is the
Finally-
girlfriend that goes to another school.
Finally jumped into the empty blister game, as you guys talked about on an episode a few weeks ago. That might have inspired me to finally do it.
Nice. This
What's
is a
fun about
pretty good
this
one to
one?
jump in with. This is a great gag.
Thank you. This one actually originally was the Invisible Woman in there, which was
Nice.
just as fun, but it didn't need it. So
Yeah, save
Amazing.
yourself the $14 and
yeah, exactly.
So I always wonder, or I'm going to say worry, that like when I do a show featuring all the blister gags, that it's just going to encourage everyone to just like,
Right.
is it going to like, is my fascination going to like, shift the market where everyone goes in this silly direction? But it's, it seems like a competition to like, how far can you push it? And I think I remember when you sent this to me, and then I showed it to Ian, I showed it to everyone, and everyone just like belted out laughing, and I was like, it worked. So
yeah, nailed it.
It was good. So what else is going on with you? What are you working on?
Oh, some things that have toys in the blisters. Some figures in the blisters. This is my latest. This was a sardine, this guy that goes by the sardine influencer. He's like a sardine king that talks a lot about canned seafood. Was running, commissioned a toy for me, wanted to run a giveaway. So I was like, I got to make something new for this. So I had to go fish related, and I made Leonardo DiCaprio, and it's just perfectly terrible, and it was a big hit, and so
that's fantastic. So so for people who don't know, so most of your work that you do for people, or most of the work that you create are one-offs, correct?
definitely, which I think is why it's taken me so long to be able to get something into a DKECON. And it took not making a figure at all to get it.
Hey, whatever it takes. But yeah, there are, for those people hanging out in the scene or in the chat or not aware, there's a lot of different kind of artists in the scene who do a lot of different kind of work, and there's some artists who literally everything that they produce is hand sculpted and handcrafted. And then there's another group who cast resin and then will paint those resin pieces after they've sculpted someone or have someone sculpt it for them. So how much of the work do you do is like commissions for people, and what percent is like ideas you've come up with?
That's a good question. Recently, I've definitely had to verge towards more commission stuff and try to do a lot more branded work, just in the hopes of paying the bills. I think there was a great boom of, collectibles during the pandemic, and I was seeing my own auctions go up to a price that was allow me to just do those. And then that kind of tailed off, and I've kind of had to delve a bit more into commissioned work and make sure that I'm paying some bills, and then try to get something fun out there at least once a week on Instagram. That's just a one-off idea that I either auction off or pair up with another account and give away, things like that.
Wow. So as far as personal work, you're doing at least one figure every week?
I think I'm doing one figure a week, and I try to do 2 that are commissions a week, and try to do 3 a week.
Wow.
I'm also on
That's a lot. Yeah.
I'm on dad duty 9 to 5, so this is my 9 to 1 that I usually am, my late night project, which I like to work at night, so it's a good fit. But right now it only allows me to get about three figures done usually.
Sounds like it also only allows you to get about 3 hours of sleep.
I'm working on that part. That's why I made it. That's why I made a toy with no figure in it.
You got 4 hours that night. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's amazing. Anything planned for the future?
Yes and no. I love to still go into my, barrels of figures and look for things that inspire me to create something. I've had to I like to either see an idea, something in, internet or memes that's taking off, and try to get it, follow up with one of those before 5 other toy makers make the same thing, obviously.
It's always a race. There's like a pop culture event. Like everyone's like, I gotta get to work.
I have the advantage of being up late, so I usually can get away with one of those every once in a while. But I also like to just go back into my parts, be inspired by, oh, this torso reminds me of this, and this head would work for this, and then Frankenstein something together that way to let the toys kind of dictate what I make, which is always fun. Probably my favorite way to do it. Even starting with like going to a comic book store, and going through their bins and finding stuff. Like, that's how I started doing all this, and that's still what I love to make sure I get to do the fun part as much as I can.
So how many, I guess one day I'd like to have you on. I'd love to see the buckets of toys that you have that you dig through. Is it literally like
it's cardboard boxes right now that I've kind of
a bucket sounds better. You should have just gone
buckets
with
does sound better. I should get a little more, I'm like organized as far as what's in what. Some are just bodies, some are just heads, some are just arms and legs, and then male, female, some that are, just
wow.
organized to what works for me, but it might not make sense to anybody else.
And so you're often just digging through the boxes of parts, like looking for inspiration?
Definitely. Yeah. Or if I see, a full figure that'll just remind me of something that I can turn into something else. To be fair, that's usually because I'm too busy with other commissions and I'm trying to just figure out something else that the figures dictate for me. But yeah, that's how I like to do it.
That's pretty awesome. And then do you find yourself, like, do you go on eBay or something and buy lots of stuff, or are you, like a big lot of pieces and parts and figures, or are you like you just buying individual pieces? Like, I need this one head to do this one.
I definitely try to get cheap lots of figures, or ideally I'll purchase something that I know I can use for multiple things, whether it's, Super 7 stuff that kind of I can break apart and glue back together nicely. So I'll, definitely look for lots of that kind of thing. But there's parts that I thought, oh, I'll never use, and I'll put it away. And then some idea comes up that just fit for that figure or that commission. And so I never know. I don't throw away too many parts just in case.
Sounds fantastic. Well, for anyone watching, the girlfriend that goes to another school is in the store now. They're $20. It's, what can I say? It's a fantastic gag, great gift. Buy 2, one for you and one for somebody else.
One for your girlfriend that goes to another
school. All right, dude. Thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're
you.
busy on
Appreciate
dad
it,
duty. So
talk to you guys soon.
Right. We'll talk to you soon. Take care, dude.
Later, dude.
It's kind of crazy how fast this goes. I mean, we've been on the air for 2 hours.
Yeah. Doesn't feel like it. Buzzard Guts wants to play Beard Roulette with us.
How do you play Beard Roulette?
Well, we had it where everybody had a beard except for Scott, so you spin it and then whoever it lands on.
I see. I thought you had like a roulette wheel, and like whoever beard like catches and then like pulls the hair out like
yeah. But hey!
How's it going, dude?
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Living the dream.
Sounding
What's
good.
going on?
Thought you might say that.
Some,
Sorry, I'm so cliche, aren't I?
Yeah, it's good.
I have to
It's
figure out
good.
something else to say.
Been
'Cause
fun
it
to
just-
listen to you guys. Yeah.
I don't know. I've just never been the kind of person to be like, it's great. It's a sunny day and I'm ready for. I don't know. It's just never been that person. Like so, it.
Sarcasm. Yeah, that's good.
So it used to just be people say, "How's it going?" I would just say, "It's going." Like just another day. It's like, what do you want from me? Like
that is
they
true.
ju-
Usually go, That's what you
Yeah,
usually.
they
Whenever I do my Dove impersonation, I always start it with,
Yeah.
It's just how it goes. So I don't know. And people sort of would get pissed when you're not enthusiastic. Like, what do you mean? Like, you have a great day. It's like, oh, okay, settle down. Like, it's fine. I got work to do. Like,
it's also like Dove's text too. One word text. I always get jealous of that because whenever someone texts me, I'm always like, I have to have like this funny response or some like well-crafted.
Look, texting is for short, concise, like, hey, I'm going to be 10 minutes late. Okay. It doesn't like,
unless you're like me, who's neurodivergent and needs constant, pats on the back, and you're like, "Hey, Dove, look at this," and you're like, "Cool." I'm like, "Damn it! Does he like it or hate it? I can't tell."
I said cool. I mean, I don't often say shit that I don't mean.
I know. I've known you long enough to know that. But like when I first met you, and I'd send you something, and you'd be like, "Cool" or "Okay," and I'm like, I don't know how to interpret this. Like, my need to be accepted needs more words than cool.
But you got to understand, like, I have 50 texts to respond to.
Oh, wow.
Right. And so it's like, you do the math. Like if, I was trying to explain to someone, like if you spend 10 minutes a day doing something, right? Or let's say approximately an hour a week, you've blown a whole work week, on 10 minutes. Like if I just sit around in the corner every day for 10 minutes, like you've just blown this amazing amount of time. So it's like, I don't know. Anyway, let's stop talking about me and the text.
Thanks for joining our therapy group, Mark.
This amazing toy. I was at a toy show.
Those are so good.
This guy made me a deal on 10 He-Man figures, which I gave to Mark, and he.
You revealed the secret of what it. I guess
I did.
You guys.
I did that on the last show. I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to do that. But if you check the Flickr page, if you go to DKEtoys.com and click on the Flickr and click on the folder for this show, DKECON 2024, you'll see all of Mark's videos and his photos of him just destroying these He-Man figures. How do you carve them? Do you heat up the knife or you just sit there?
No, I have a grinder, like a.
Oh,
like a a tile grinder. Like I
thought you were
bought
using a
it.
Dremel.
I needed to. Yeah, I bought it. I'm learning about tools. I'm not a handyman in any sense, but now I'm suddenly, trying to fix things to save money and learn stuff. And I bought this grinder because I needed to grind off all these. And it was a dumb story, but all these rusted bolts that were in this concrete, and I needed to. I never did it. I got one.
You just ground action figures.
And then that was like 3 years ago. And then the grinder instead just started. I think the first one I did was the. Because I usually, like you were talking about, I usually make the figures out of something. I mean, I'm not. I gotta say, I kind of been approaching it. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like an outsider with the toy thing. So the first Chewbacca, the first one I ever made, I got the whatever stuff you're supposed to get, the plasticine and, mold it. And it just became this, I try and do detail and do it right. And it was just kept turning into just a weird blobby shape. And then finally I gave up and then it, kind of turned out.
But that first Chewbacca was a fantastic figure. Like,
and I've used, it was fun. I spent a lot of time on it, but it doesn't look like it. I spent like a couple days like trying to make it work. And then the second maybe was beta or something, but then I just started finding parts.
Yeah, that's when all the balsa wood and the pencil erasers and everything.
Because I realized it didn't have I realized you could make a mold of that. So, but then, so I did, that's my favorite way to do it. But then a couple times I've done where they take an actual existing figure and then
Right. You took the
I've-
Star Wars figures, the vintage Star Wars figures, and turned them
Yeah.
into the Popeye.
The poo eye.
Oh, that's what it was. The
Poo
Popeye was
eye.
the first one. So I took the grinder
So good.
because Popeye has such a distinct face, and I wanted to kind of, you know, mess it up so it could kind of work. And I didn't want you to recognize the figure, you know, that was at all. I mean, I'm sure you can, but twisting the head around, grinding it, using the back of the head, or switching some of the arms. But so with this guy, yeah, that I didn't know how else to make something that big anyway. So
It's just fantastic, and it, you know, has your classic googly eyes and the puffy paint on the card. So each
Yeah.
card here is on a piece of cardboard. So each one is hand painted. So you get
Yeah.
an original painting plus the customized figure.
Yeah.
And whatever you use for those mops are just
Ma-
fucking
yeah.
gross.
yeah, they all look different. And that's the most fun for me, is like, I don't have a plan where I'm like, okay, this will be the mop, this will be this. I just go, and then I'm like, literally the deadline is coming. I'm like, I need a mop, and I just look around the studio, and I
Cut up
used
a
a bunch of
bathrobe.
those are old, well, those are paint brushes handles that I broke off that Esther doesn't know about. I stole them. But they originally were given to her from another artist, Jim Shaw. So it's like they were all dried out and crappy. So I was just like, I'm just gonna cut the ends off and throw the rest away, hide the evidence.
And did you just happen to have an ink stamp that says "Have a nice day" on it?
Yeah, I use that a lot. Yeah, I don't say I for a while I collected stamps. You know, you find that stuff at thrift stores and junk shops, and like they're just so dumb. And it's like some teacher used that maybe for years for a student paper. So a lot of my work is kind of referencing childhood and school and doodling when you're supposed to be doing math problems and stuff like that. Yeah.
Really fantastic. The one that I kept
Yeah.
that I made the number one was the one where the googly eyes were different sizes.
Yeah.
And I just
Yeah,
found that one
yeah.
to be just like the most fucked up one, and I was very pleased with that one.
I remember doing that one, but yeah, because I remember grabbing them and going, wait, they don't have to match, and just kind of randomly throwing them in. Yeah, googly eyes obviously are really easy to get, but I really love the vintage ones, like you can get these old ones that are like much harder, like weirder, like, I don't know, just made better. So I try and use those sometimes.
So for anyone who's online, this one's number 5, and because we took photos of all of them, so when you purchase them, you can choose which one you want. But this one has like 2 different eyes, and one like one wiggles and the other one doesn't, and
Yeah.
it creates this fantastic effect.
Sometimes
So-
I don't know about on these, but sometimes I do paintings as well with googly eyes, all different sizes, and sometimes I want the eyes to move and sometimes not. And if or just one, just like that, I'll just use a like a needle and inject some glue so it
into
freezes
the
it.
eye.
So it's like
But then
plastic surgery.
when I was at your place, was it my imagination, or did I see a googly eye that was like 5 or 6 inches across?
Yeah, that is, I know. I bought one that I leased that, maybe bigger. You can find those at like a Michael's or something. I don't know what people do with them, and
One
I've
day,
made a few things, but
Mark was here at the office, and he looked at the blank area right there by the window. He's like, I could make you a life-size Darth Vader. And I was like,
yeah.
hmm.
I always, yeah. And again,
would-
that would be a really fun challenge because I wouldn't necessarily know how to start. I would just start looking around and slapping things together. And yeah, I guess even with my illustration, we did a workshop. I have a gallery in a store in Joshua Tree, and we did a still life workshop, like figure drawing, but we did still life this time. And I was doing some drawings, and people were just kind of shocked that I would just kind of like do something off the cuff, super fast and dumb and easy. And everyone else is trying to like render this, flower or bowl. And I kind of have learned, like, again, I feel like my strengths are to kind of just be dumb with it and weird, and it almost always works out better that way than overthinking it. I've even done jobs for when I used to do a lot more editorial magazine work. I'd like to give myself a challenge and say, like, you know, okay, this deadline for the New York Times it's due, and they were usually sometimes really quick, like an hour or 2 hours. And
wow.
And I would give myself a challenge of like, okay, I can't get up from my desk and I can only use what's in this right-hand drawer, and whatever was in there.
Wow.
It was like, it would be like some, you know, weird Sharpies that are dried out or some other broken pencils and you know, and I would just try and make it, you know, again, kind of like a kid would do, where it's just, you just got to use what you have. And then of course, you know, after you've done it, you know, you can fine tune it if you really need to. You can do some alteration. But I like this challenge at least at the beginning to like, it's a little bit stressful, and I need that. I need the deadline, I need the stress, I need the time limit to not over noodle things. And it's doing these figures over the years. I can see I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they've gotten better or worse, but they're just gotten more weird sometimes and a lot of fun. So yeah,
I think
I like
they're
doing
fantastic.
series. Yeah.
I think the greatest skill you have is probably knowing when to walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Right? I
True.
mean,
And yeah, there's a great store that my daughter works at called Remainders, and they just have so much weird stuff. It's all donation based, but it's all it's all like fabrics and googly eyes and art supplies, and you know, things are like, you pay by the pound. It's super cheap. And so I'll go there and get like the fabric for a Jawa, or like weird wires for Dr. Octopus's tentacles. I used fiber optic like telephone cable I found or something, and cut it up and use that for his
and when you show up there at the store, do you tell the people what you're looking for, what you're trying to create? It's like, I'm trying to make a Jawa cape, and they're like, no.
Not usually. Not, although there is one guy that works there, he knows. He's super into it. And
Nice.
But I like to just kind of, again, with the challenge of like, I'm only here for 20 minutes, you know, maybe double parked, and I gotta find the right fabric.
Double
Instead of over analyzing it, just this one's good, this is the right brown, you know. And it's so weird because 9 times out of 10 it's the perfect cloth, or it's the perfect figure. It's
wow.
I don't know. It's weird. It's like it just appears.
I think I heard George Lucas say in an interview once, he said that films were never finished, they were just abandoned.
Yeah.
And it just always struck me as like, you know, how many artists do we know that like create great stuff and it gets like really great, and then they just overthink it, and then it just you know, they don't know when
I
to
think
walk
Picasso
away.
might have said the same thing about painting.
Yeah. It's a challenge. I mean, again, with the painting career and, you know, showing occasionally in galleries and things, trying to keep it loose. And like, that's how the googly eye started. Like, I mean, you're not supposed to do that on a painting. And I was just like, like threw googly eyes on one of them, and, you know, and it kind of worked. But I mean, it has backfired in ways where, you know, people expect certain series of paintings I've done, and then I'll end up like, I wouldn't say going overboard, but doing something so weird that it's not going to sell. Like I used to do a lot of comic book mashup, you know, Dove knows, like all that stuff. I used to do a lot of that, and then I would sell most of them, but there was a couple, or it went a little too far, where I glued like, I don't know, pom-poms onto the painting and stuff. And it's like, I think it's funny, but I think people are just like, I just want a painting, and this is not archival.
I think when the third Chewbacca figure, the very first figure you did, the third colorway showed up with a clown nose and tube socks.
It's my favorite one.
And I said, you know,
oh,
like,
really? Yeah. That
I'm
was
like,
the risky one.
I was like, I don't know, man. Are people going to buy this? And you're like, don't worry about it. And of course, they sold out. They all found their home.
Yeah, I was worried about that one, and
Well,
then
you
the
were, if
third
you
one,
were
I had-
worried about it, you didn't let on. You just you were
I mean-
pretty confident.
yeah, I mean, I get, that's the third one. You can take more chances, and it's like, and it's a, you're not making this one masterpiece. It's like a whole bunch of stuff. And again, yeah, kind of just trusting my gut with like, I saw in my studio, I didn't know what I was gonna do. I saw like all these little red, little mini, I don't even know what they're for, like little decorative pom-poms, and I just stuck one on in his nose, and then I thought, that's stupid. And then what would be more dumb is tube socks. I don't know why. Yeah.
It's a
doesn't-
classic.
Yeah.
Definitely is.
Oh, it's a fun one.
All right, dude. Well, thank you so much. So everyone, if you're in the chat here, the Toxic
Yeah.
Retaliator is
So
on the
good.
site right now. It's an edition of 10. They're all signed and numbered. They're each unique figures, hand painted on a hand painted backer card. It's how much are they? Are they 150, 125?
125.
125, whatever it is such an amazing deal. Like
Yeah.
you get a full painting for that price. It's and I'm gonna say the same thing about this that I said about Kai is like if you showed up at Mark's door and said, could you do a painting for me for $125, he'd tell you to go fuck off. So we try to keep the things affordable here, and this is sort of like the range that we work in, but it's not the range that Mark generally works in. So I hope everyone goes to the site and takes advantage of it, because it's I don't know, I just tickled. These are just
They're fun to do. So fun.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Love them.
All right, Mark, thank you
I went
again.
through and tried to
Thanks so much.
identify each one of those.
Yeah.
It was difficult. I think I might have to like actually see them in person.
If you go to the Flickr page, there is one photo of all
I
of them.
caught the Flickr page.
Yeah.
So it's a nice
rundown.
You just want to really stare into
I was
this.
only yeah.
All right, Mark. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks.
We'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Appreciate you taking the time.
Good to see you,
Yeah,
man.
love it. Take care. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Dude.
Nice.
So amazing. Sarah texted me in the middle. She's like, "This is such a good interview." Let's see.
I'd like to give a quick plug to Phantosaurs.
Oh yeah.
The Kickstarter that Wonder Goblin and Maggitarius are doing. And I have an add-on on that Kickstarter. And I'm painting a deluxe set that's every single toy in the entire playset. There's, I think they call it the most epic add-on that's on the Kickstarter. Is I'm gonna hand paint every single one of the toys on the entire Kickstarter.
It's like 16 figures, right? 16 vinyl figures.
Yeah, it's like 16 toys, and they're awesome.
So good. The sculpts are great. The characters are great, and then Tracy did 1.5 of Maggitarius did this whole like field guide that she painted each of the characters.
It's a comic book too.
It's so cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I mean, the Kickstarter is massive because instead of doing like releasing one toy at a time, they were just like, here's the whole thing. And so it's a completely fleshed out universe. Even a blank set of the toys, they're all different colors, and they're amazing. It's a really killer. It's an awesome Kickstarter.
That Kickstarter looks great.
Yeah,
I just looked
the
at
Kickstarter. I mean,
it's a hell of a lineup of featured artists too.
Yeah. Well, and the pricing on it's pretty fair too for the size of those figures, and they're sort of pricing it to be like this can be an entry into vinyl. I think
it's
and I mean some legendary painters doing one-offs on there, but
well, congratulations to them because they funded quickly and they're still making stuff. And
nice. I think Steven's in.
Yep.
You can hear us. Put your pants on if you're ready.
Steven, can I bring you live?
I said that in the
Here's the real secret is I haven't been wearing pants this entire time, and no one has noticed.
I told him by text, I said, put your pants on, and he said, you're cramping my style. I was like, okay, dude, you can skip it. And he's like,
You do
joke. Like
Yay!
Well, welcome. It's nice to have you here in the flesh.
Thank you.
For people who don't know who you are, would you mind just introducing yourself?
My name's Steven Singer, also known as Whistling Pony Toys. And how much of an intro do you want?
That was good.
Okay.
Nailed it.
That did the job. So let's talk about this amazing figure that you made, which is for sale now, DKEtoys.com. Check it out. It's called Cracked Up. I've had so much fun showing this on the previous shows and reading your little statement on the back here. So how did this start? Did you find these plates at like garage sales and stuff?
Well, the way it started, and I apologize that I forget the person's name. The one who did the ceramic, the one called Ripoff.
Recollection.
Recollection, yeah.
Exactly. I was just really amused by that one and how it seemed to, whether it did or not, kind of relate back to my first trite symbol mate, which was the wadded up piece of paper that was put in there, and kind of similar to that. So I took the word rip off as maybe it was a kind of a play off of that. So then I thought, well, what would be a follow-up to rip off? And I thought of crack up. So I kind of worked.
There you go.
You know, I have no skills with ceramic, and I have like deep respect for his work. I mean, it's brilliant stuff. But then I started to think, well, how can I use that medium and then deconstruct that? And also kind of have a commentary on the collector mentality, because I think those kind of Star Wars plates, no offense to anybody that collects those, are kind of the Beanie Babies of the ceramic world.
I'll tell you, as people walk in the door with collections that we buy, you know, Star Wars plates are okay. Star Trek plates are like, you know, like, I mean, if a Star Trek plates walk in the door, like I'm paying $1 or $2 each, I can't even sell them to another dealer for $2. Like it just, unfortunately,
I have the Captain Picard plate.
Me too.
Of course you do. It just, for some reason, those companies, the Franklin Mint, the Danbury Mint, the Highland Mint, those people that make what I want to call these like fake sort of collectibles, there's just nothing. I got a collection of ceramic Barbie figures from the Highland Mint, and I looked them up. They don't even sell for $5. It's so
They're
sad.
old people collectibles.
And I'm not sure how much what they went for originally, but it's like they're probably like $40 per plate with this like certificate of authenticity and that sort of thing. It's a great investment for the future. But then I'll find them at thrift stores all the time. But
yeah,
no, I bought 3 of them on eBay. I think it was $15 delivered. Then I just kind of broke them into pieces and kind of you know, I have a museum studies degree, so I carefully curated out the select pieces and then mounted them on acrylic.
I gotta say, the acrylic may be the kicker for the whole thing.
Yeah.
The fact that they're mounted on the acrylic, like that adds the level of ridiculousness in the amount of detail that you put in there, and really punts it over the fence. It's great.
Just going to show it right here. So these
So
are
good.
very carefully made to fit into the cavity of the blister here. And we do ship them wrapped. Like, so this little piece inside will be wrapped, and then you just take the wrapping off. Otherwise it'll scratch it. But really just fantastic piece. And obviously we've enjoyed that, you know, all of us have really enjoyed and commented endlessly about the trite sublimates, which is a fantastic line, and I hope that you keep making them forever.
Thank you.
See, I think that it's such a befitting name for these plates, which are trite sublimates, sublimated directly onto the plate.
Oh, is that the actual process for getting them? That's funny because these aren't even called sub. Are they? How's that
No.
made?
I would
Yeah.
assume that those are.
Well,
I'm-
the term ready-made is like a Duchampian term from Dada. So basically, he's the guy that took the urinal and
Right.
put it in the gallery, and it was already made because he was just taking it from the environment. So in a similar way, even though these are modified plates, they're almost ready-mades, I guess, in a sense, where I'm kind of changing the context. So it's kind of a commentary on that kind of collector mentality and kind of destroying the objects to make it, like, I don't want to say worthless to affect sales, but you're kind of recontextualizing the pieces and kind of giving them a new life through the packaging and the context.
Well, it works on a second level too, because the plates can't serve the purpose that a plate serves. You can't eat off of them.
Correct.
There's like lead or toxins in the paint or whatever.
Yeah,
So
there's
you've
like
got
a warning.
You've got a
Do
little
not-
Magritte going on there, right? You've got a thing that's not the thing that's being broken into another thing that level after level, layer after.
I think there is a warning there saying, like, don't eat on it and don't microwave it and don't put it in the dishwasher and like just don't look at it even, like it's gonna break.
You can do one thing, and that's put it in a cabinet at your grandma's house. That's it. Or break it into pieces and sell it as art. That also.
I mean, that gets even sadder. Like, at least the Star Trek and Star Wars are worth a few dollars. When you get to like the
Queen Victoria's 50th.
The royal wedding.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, that's brutal. Like, it happens. There was one collection we got where it was like a book of like these fake stamps, right? And so it would have like a real 1 cent stamp of like George Washington on it. It's like
yeah.
like 10 cents, and then there would be the 24 karat gold, and in the thing would be the bills, right? They paid $17.95 for each of these leaves in this thing, and it's like you can't even sell a postage stamp for face value. Like,
So what do you think of this? I've been seeing them pop up a lot, ads for that piece of that dinosaur skull or whatever from Star Wars, from the first film. They've been breaking that up into little pieces and selling that as a collectible as well. At least that's an artifact, but
true. I mean, that's been happening ever since. I mean, I know people who've gone to Tunisia and like would go. Now it's like a tourist spot, and who's ever in Tunisia was smart enough to like repaint everything. It's all run down, but that big skeleton was just left out in the middle of the desert. Like, they didn't take it, throw it in the dump. There's no, you know what I mean? It just was there. And so people would go out there and start, hacking pieces off of it and come back and sell it. And, I mean, that kind of stuff happens all the time. Like, it happens in baseball cards now, like someone will have like a jersey and then they'll just cut it up into like thousands of little like 1-inch swatches and glue them onto.
so it kind of becomes like a religious relic after a while.
Yeah,
where you have like a piece of the real cross or something like that. Or, for a Star Wars collector, it's like communing with that sort of franchise in a sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cards Against Humanity did a thing. They used to do their Black Fridays sale, and they would always be some big crazy weird thing. Or 12 Days of Christmas, and you get 12 different packages, and each one had a different theme. And one year, one of the things was you had to vote. They had bought a Picasso, a small Picasso painting, and you had to vote whether to keep it intact and donate it to a museum or to cut it into tiny pieces that everybody who was part of this would be mailed a piece of. And it ended up being preserved. It ended up the vote was to keep it in one piece, but there was sort of that thing, is like, this is the only chance you'll get to ever own a piece of a Picasso. Is it worth chopping a Picasso up to give 8,000 people or 10,000 people or however many were part of it, a little piece of it. So anyway, it makes it
that might actually be
Let's see
illegal.
what King Solomon said.
Is it illegal? You see
Yeah, I think if you're the creator, you can destroy your work, but buying a piece of art and destroying it, I believe, is illegal.
But I wonder if they could say they're turning it into a different art project by doing this.
I don't know. But I looked that up once because there were at some point in art collecting history people who would buy up paintings and then start destroying them
to raise the values
raise the value of the other work that they had, or and that I believe that's a federal law.
Wow.
But the artists themselves, I believe, can take a torch to it, but which I've gotten mad at some artists I know who shall remain nameless who have destroyed some of their paintings. I'm like, don't. They're like, I didn't have space for it. No one wants them. They're bad. I'm like, just give them to me, please. God. So it goes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Stephen, thank you so much for stopping by. I really
Sure.
appreciate all the great work that you're doing. It's all we love it here. We look forward to it. It's great to talk about. People are collecting it, and so for anyone who's out there in YouTube land, these are on the site now. It's called Cracked Up. There's only 25 of them. They all
And-
have a different-
And each one's completely different and unique, just like snowflakes.
just like snowflacks. All right, dude. Thank you again. We really
Okay.
appreciate the time.
Sure, thank you.
Thanks for putting your pants on.
Thanks. And now I'll take them off again.
Yay!
Not in front of you guys.
Ah, boo.
Ah, boo. Let's see here. I think we're probably done. Mark Pingator, I popped in earlier, but you already some other artists light up, then had to pick up my son from school.
You're on with some other asshole.
Right. Peter says at 1:51 said I'll be in 30 to 45 minutes picking up kids from school. Should be
School
good
getting in the way of
30
design.
minutes.
With these kids. You goddamn kids.
I think we're just gonna call it. So let me just show you what Mark and Killer Bootlegs were gonna be here to
That's
talk
so
about.
awesome.
So good.
So this is Knuckle Dustin. This is the second card that we did, and every order, while supplies last, one per person, one per household, whatever, will get this card free with your order. This Garbage Pail Kid
I
inspired
want one.
Killer Bootlegs card, painted by Mark Pingator. And the A card is actually going to be available from Killer Bootlegs, so you'll get the A and the B. After this, I think we're gonna have a Sucklord card, but after the Sucklord cards, I think we need Barbarian Rage cards. I think
I got about 18,000. You want some?
Anyway, thank you to everybody who hung out, and really appreciate the time. I just checked the chat, make sure no one has just jumped in here at the last minute. Thanks everyone for sticking it out. Everything is on sale now, dktoys.com. This show will be lightly edited and on YouTube for everyone to watch. Abracadapoof says hello. He said yoo-hoo. I think he didn't want to come on, correct? But I will show his toy again. There's only 10 of these guys. In the store right now, comes with a cassette. Yeah, he says my English is bad. Totally understand.
But your toy making is great.
Yeah, look at that.
Put this out of a comic.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable. Shame by your English.
Oh, wow.
Amazing.
That's funny.
All right, guys. Thank you again. We'll see everybody soon.
See you guys.
See you around. Have a good weekend.
Stay fresh,
safe.
these bags.
Yay!
He said it.
Oh, Scott, you stepped on his line.
I
I stepped
did.
on it. Do it again. Do it again.
No.